Now we've been talking about place value. And remember, we were practicing counting out those straws and making groups and bundles. And we figured out it was easier to count out those straws by twos to make groups of 10, right? And then it was easier to count them by tens to get to 100. And then once we had bundles of 100, it's easier to count by hundreds. So now if I had a number like 100, how is it going to be easiest to count to 124? I'm going to show you on this one, and then I want you guys to think for the next one, all right? So I'm going to count with my 100 first. I'm going to start at that number, 100. And if I was going to draw a big bundle, you know, if it tells me to draw a bundle, my bundle of 100 is just going to look like this. It's not fancy. I know that that's a big bundle of 100, right? And then what comes next? It's probably going to be easiest for me to count by tens. 100 to 110. Okay, and I'm just going to add that bundle of 10, which is going to be a smaller looking bundle than my bundle of 100. And so that would be counting by 10 more. We're going to count by 10 more to get to 120. And I'm going to add another little bundle of 10. If it asks me to draw pictures, that's what it's going to look like. Okay. And then I'm going to, I need to get to 124, right? So I need to count by ones. So I'm going to say plus 1. That's going to take me to 121. I'm going to go one more. Now I'm at 122. Oh, I'm going to run out of room. One more, 123. And I'm going to have to kind of make a funny little arch up here because I ran out of room because I made my number so big to start with. 124 with one more. And then these ones, if I was to draw pictures of them, it'd just be 1, 2, 3, 4 little ones. Okay, so in order to get to 124, I started with my group of 100. Then I went 10 more, and then 4 ones to get to 124. Whew, do you guys have all your learning materials to go along with me? Remember, that's the expectation. You come to class, math class, with your learning materials ready so we can work together on these problems and you can do them along with me. Okay, we're going to do another one. Y'all ready? Oh, Miss Kennison, my brain's on fire. I'm ready. Let's do... Let's start with that 124 that we started with, that we ended with earlier, and let's go to 220. Let's see. I'm probably going to start with what? Anybody have an idea? I'm going to want to get to a whole number. Troy?
Subtract.
Oh, we're not going to subtract. We are actually going forward. So we're not subtracting anything because we're actually adding. Valerie, I need you to put the toy down. It is not playtime. It is work time. So please put the toy down and show me that you are on task being your wonderful self. All right. Now you're kind of frozen with the toy. Jaya, show me that that is a learning tool and not a toy also. So I'm going to start with 124. And you know what? I'm going to count by ones to get to 130. So I'm going to go, or maybe actually, you know what? To take it back, I'm going to count by tens first and then ones. Finish it up. You could do either way. We'll do ones first. Miss Kennison can't keep her ideas straight here. I'm going to add 1. I'm going to make that bigger so I have plenty of space. That gets me to 125. Add 1 more. Now I'm at 126. Add 1 more. Now I'm at 127. Add 1 more. I'm at 128. One more. I'm at 129. Woof, one more. I'm at 130. 1, 1, 1. Now that I added those ones so that I have a group of 10 there, I can count by tens to get to 200. 130 plus 10 is 140. 140 plus 10 is 150. 150 plus 10 is 160. 160 plus 10 is, and I'm going to hop down here, 170 plus 10, 180 plus 10, 190, 10 more would be 200. Plus 10 again, 210. And finally, plus 10, 220. Whew, this Kennison picked a tricky one to start with, huh? And this is where Troy was saying, well, it might be easier to do subtraction. And we'll get to that point where we would start with 120, 24, and we'd take away 4, and then we could just count by 100. Ooh. But to start with, this is kind of what we do. What, Amy?
Can I use the restroom, please?
Yes, go. If you can, try to go before class. I only have y'all for 20 minutes. Okay, but when you need to go, go. Let's go from 120 to 193. I think that one will be a little bit less tricky. If I start with that 120, I could even show that by having my big bundle of 100. And then
Miss, can I go to the restroom?
Yes, Sammy, you may go to the restroom, but boys and girls, please try to go to the restroom before class or after if you can all, since I only have you guys here for 20 minutes, okay? It's not a whole lot long times. I need you here learning. Rudy, if you're going to ask to go to the bathroom, just go. But this, not everybody should have to go to the bathroom at once.
After class, can I tell Troy something?
Yes, after class.
Okay.
Okay. 120. So that's my starting point. 120. Now I'm going to go by tens. Plus 10 gets me to 130. So I would do another little 10 bundle down there. Plus 10 get me to 140, and I do a little 10 bundle. Plus 10 gets me to 150. It's my little 10s. Plus 10 more. Now I'm at 160. 10 more. Now I'm at 170, and then I'm going to hop down here just to 10 more lands me at 180. Then we get to go to 190. Now what do I have to count by? I'm at 190. Can I count by 10 still? What do I have to change? What do I have to count by to get to 193? Oh, Rudy, I'm not going to count by 10s to get to 193 if I'm already at 190. Right? I don't want to count by 10s. That would put me at 200. So, Haiti, what do you think?
Ones.
Oh, Zuhaiti, kiss your brain. It's working hard. I'm going to count by ones. That gets me to 191, and I do a little 1. I need to keep going. One more. 192, almost there. One more. Whew. 193. Oh my goodness. So first we counted by tens to get us to 190, and then we counted by ones. Whoa. So what about if we go from 85 to 120? 85 to 120. I'm going to start with my 85, and I could show that with 8 groups of 10. 3, 4. And then I do 5 little ones. Okay. So you guys can see my starting point, 85. Now, what am I going to count by first? What should we count by first? Troy, what do you think?
Tens.
We can totally count by tens first. We could count on that one. We could actually do either one. We could count by tens, or we could count by ones first. It doesn't really matter. We could count by tens, or we could go 85 plus 1 to 86 plus 1 more, 87, then 88, and 89, finally getting us to 90. And then, as Troy said, we can count by tens. 90, 10 more is 100. 10 more, hop 10 more, 100, 110. And then 10 more, and I'm running out of room again. I start too big to start with, and then I run out. 120. All right. So we can count by ones first to get us to a group of 10, and then we can keep counting by tens to get us to our final number. Okay. What about it if I start at 76 and I want to go to 200? All right, who's doing this with me? I want to see those little writing hands going, and your little eyeballs working and your ears working, showing me that you are participating and doing it with us. Very good. Okay. If I start at 76, and what am I going to count to get me to 80? What do you think I should count to get me to 80? Count by. Oh, Troy's showing me on his fingers. Can everybody else show me on your fingers? What am I going to count by? Am I going to count by tens to get me to 80? Am I going to count by fives? I shouldn't see a 10 on your hand, Amy. I can't go 76, 86. That took me too far. I just want to go to 80. We're going to count by ones. 76 plus 1, 77 plus 1, 78 plus 1, 79. Oof, we finally got there. We are counting a lot today. 80. Are we done? We got to keep going. Now we get to count by, who knows? What are we going to count by now? Oh, Zahid is showing me. I see Jay is showing me. Oh, I see lots of hands up in the air. Great job. Ashlyn, I'd love to see your hands up in the air. Are you napping over there? 10. I think Ashlyn was frozen, but I think I just saw her blink.
10 is awesome.
We're now going to count by tens. Okay, so we're going to go 80. We're counting by tens. We're going to go to 90. 10 more is 100. Oh my goodness, we're almost there. Are we going to keep counting by tens to get to 200? Or is there a faster way to get there? Who thinks there's a faster way to get there? Thumbs up if you think there's a faster way. Or if we're going to keep counting by tens. Do I see lots of thumbs up? I see people thinking there might be a faster way. What do you think, Ashlyn? Is there a faster way? Ashlyn? Ashlyn's sleeping on the job, I think. Amy, what do you think?
I think you count 2 more to get to 200.
I just go 100, 101, 102, 100. What? Does that make sense? So Haiti, why don't you share? What do you think how do you think we're gonna keep counting?
500.
Oh, very good. Kiss your brain. Give yourself a pat on the back. If anybody else knew we're gonna count by hundreds, pat yourself on the back too. We are gonna count by hundreds. And guess what? We go 100. 100 more is 200. And we're there. Oh man, that's a lot of counting. Oh, Ashlyn's out. Maybe she was just frozen.
Oh, Jay is here.
All right, Amy, mute your mic, please.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, what if I want to go from 100 to 302? What do you think we should do first? Oh, I see lots of hands up in the air working. Rudy, what do you think we're going to count first? We're going to count by tens? I think that would take us forever to get to 300 counting by tens. We could do it, but it might take us a while, especially if Miss Kennison's having to write it down. Takes me forever to write that down. Anybody have a faster idea? Thumbs up if you think you have a faster idea. Jaya, what do you think? And Rudy's saying he's got a faster idea now too.
Counting by hundreds.
By hundreds. Thumbs up if you agree with Jaya. Thumbs up if you agree. Ooh, I see lots of thumbs up saying they agree with Jaya. That would be much faster than counting by tens. You're right. 100 plus 100 takes us to 200. 200 plus 100 takes us to 300. Uh-oh, can I keep counting by hundreds? I need to get to 302. I can't keep counting by hundreds. The next 100 would take me to 400, and that's too many. So what do I do now? Samuel, what do I do now? Samuel. What do you think I count by now?
Maybe thousands.
What? If I added 1,000 to 3,000, that would be 1,300. That would be way too many. I need to get through 302. 302. Valerie, what do you think?
Tens?
Ooh, that would take me to 310. Anybody have another idea? Troy?
We count by ones
Right.
from 301 to 302.
Very good. 301. So now we're going to count by ones to 302. Another one. Whoa. Good counting. So we've got to find the counting way that made the most sense. It did not make sense for us to count by thousands once we were at 300 to get to 302. It did not make sense for us to count by tens We needed to count by ones. So we've got to figure out what makes the most sense. Okay, where is my goal? Where am I trying to get? And where am I starting? Okay. All right.
Hey, Miss.
Hey,
I
what?
agreed with Troy.
What, honey?
I agreed with Troy because I raised up one finger. Because I went like one.
You saw Troy and you were like, that's what I got to do.
Me too.
All right. So sometimes, like, what we call these is we call these benchmark numbers. When we get to these numbers that then we can count big. We get to the numbers where we count big. So if I was starting at 97, the benchmark number that I want to get to count up to 200 is I need to get to 100, right? So how am I going to count from 97 to get to 100? Am I going to count by ones? Am I going to count by tens? Am I going to count by hundreds? Ooh, I see lots of faces moving and little fingers going up and brains thinking. Great job, second graders. If you are showing me one finger, we're going to count by ones first. You are correct. To get me to 100, we're going to count by ones. So we're going to go 97 plus 1, 98 plus 1, 99 plus 1, 100. And that is called a benchmark number because now I can count bigger from there. I can go 100. What am I going to count by to get me to 200 now? What am I going to count by? See, Ashlyn, what do you think? Are you unfrozen now? Can you speak? Ashlyn?
I think she just lost her voice.
Maybe Ashlyn lost her voice. Okay, who can be Ashlyn's voice today and help her out? Who can read Ashlyn's mind and think, oh, Sophia, I'd love to hear your beautiful voice.
What are you going to do with that information?
She thinks you have to count by ones.
Can you figure out an
You
equation?
think we have to count by ones? So it goes, I'm going to count by ones all the way to get to 200. Oh my goodness, that would be way too many things to count. Oh, it looks like maybe Ashlyn got disconnected. Her Wi-Fi's giving her fits. Okay, how many? I don't want to count by ones all the way to 200 because that's going to take me a long time. Remember counting that big pile of straws all the way by ones? That would take us a long time. Rudy, what do you think?
You need to count by twos.
Ooh, once again, that's going to take me a long time. 102, 104, 106, 108. It's going to take me a long time to get all the way to 200. Samuel, what do you think?
Tens.
We're getting faster, but I think there's still a faster way to get there than me going 110, 120, 130. What's going to be the fastest way to get me from 100 to 200? The fastest way of counting. Jaya?
Miss.
100s.
100s, right? We're going to count by 100s. That's going to be the fastest. We could count by ones, but we're going to have to count 100 ones to get to 200. We could count by tens, but we'd have to count 10 tens to get to 200. So the fastest way to get there is to count by hundreds. Thank you, Jaya. 100. And now we're at our number 200. So 100 was called a benchmark number for us because then we got to count really big numbers really quickly to get us to the number we were looking for. Does that make sense? All right. Oh, I can see Ashlyn moving her head, so she can at least hear us, even if she can't speak. Oh, let me see. What if I started at 156 and took us to 200? What do you think I'm going to count by first to get to a benchmark number to let us count a little bit bigger? Ashlyn, can you speak to us now? Are you working? We'll give her a second to respond. If she doesn't, somebody else needs to tell me what we're going to count by. What are we going to count by? Troy?
Tens.
You want us to count by tens first?
So that we can go to 150, to 166, 176, and then 186, and then 196, and then add ones.
Okay, so you're totally right in that we could do that, but why don't we do the ones first and then we can do the tens? Let's do that smaller number first, get us to a benchmark number where we can count by tens. Okay?
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that. Oh, thank you. 157. One more. I like your idea here to use those ones to get us up. 158. One more. 159. And then we'll get us to 160, which is kind of a benchmark number because then we can count in a larger group first or next, okay? We can count in a larger group next. So now, what do we count by? Now that we're at 160, what do we count by? Show me with your hands. I see a couple of you guys have turned off your cameras or your Wi-Fi is giving you fits. If you can turn back on your camera, great.
Miss Kennison, something went wrong to my computer.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that afterwards, okay? Can you hear us and see us still?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I cannot see you. But I only see
Okay.
Sophia and me. So can I hang up now?
Amy, why don't you stay on? We just have a couple more minutes, okay? Well, you can't see me at all?
No.
Okay, all right, hang up and come back on really quickly.
All right.
Okay, so we're at 160. What do we need to do next? What do we need to do next? Sophia says we want to count by ones. Oh, that would take us forever to get to 200. 161, 162. What's a faster way? We don't want to count by fives. That's still going to take us a longer time. What's going to be a faster way? Oh, I see Rudy's got 10 fingers up. I see Jahedi has 10. I see Jaya and Sophia and Troy and Valerie and Ashlyn. Oh, thank you, Ashlyn. Thank you. I'm glad you can at least participate with
I
your
can
hands.
see you now. I can see you all now.
Oh, good. So I guess hanging up and coming back was the best decision. Okay, so now we can count by tens. 160 plus 10, we're at 170. 170 plus 10, now we're at 180. 180 plus 10, we're at 190. 190 plus 10, and I'm going to come down here because I ran out of room. Plus 10, and now we're at our final number of 200. So we want to find the ways that are going to get us there faster. It wasn't going to be as fast to count by ones, right? It wasn't going to be as fast to count by fives. We couldn't count by hundreds. That was too big. That would take us too far. So the fastest way to get us there was to count by tens. All right, so we're going to practice that, finding those benchmark numbers to count from and how we're going to do that, okay? Thank you guys for learning with me today and for working with me today. I appreciate it. Should we do one more fast one? Where's your spirit of learning here? One more fast one. We'll be fast on this one. You guys are getting speedy at it. I think so.
Just please don't make it a big number.
Oh, I'm going to make it huge.
Reaching here.
I'm going to make it huge. 198 to 500. But I think at first you might go, how do I do that? And you might freak out. Remember what I used to tell you last year? Take a deep breath and say, wait a minute. This isn't as scary as I'm making it. Let's use what we know to solve what we don't, right? Let's get from 198. How do we get to 200?
Hundreds.
Tell me with your fingers. How are we going to count? We can't count with by fives. We're not starting at a 5. That's going to take us somewhere weird. We're not going to count by 10s yet. I see Valerie has a 1. Zuhaidi has a 1. I see Troy has a 1. That's what we're going to count by. We're going to count by 1s to get us to our benchmark number of 200, because 198 plus 1 is 199. 199 plus 1 is 200. And you guys were all freaking out. You were like, oh my goodness, this is going to take us forever. Well, it would if we had to keep counting by 1s, but do we have to keep counting by 1s? What are we going to count by now? What are we going to count by now? Samuel, do you know? Are you raising your hand or are you just dancing?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Thumbs up if you agreed with Samuel, if that was your idea. Good job. Pat yourself on the back. Kiss your brain. We're counting by hundreds. 100, 200 plus 100 is 300. We're going to count by 100 more. Now we're at 400. Oh my goodness, we're almost there. Working so hard. 100 more is 500, and we're there. Once we got to our benchmark number of 200, and we got to count by those really big numbers, it made our life so much easier and faster. Okay? Boys and girls, we are done for the day. Thank you for giving me that one more problem and for being good sports. Have a wonderful afternoon. I will see you for science. Kiss your brain for working hard.
Bye.
Or something you need to share. Now's your time. Bye, Amy.
Right.